What is up, y'all? Welcome back to some Mellow TV. Thought I'd just do a quick stream this morning as we're getting some breaking news from Sky Sports. This is from a reporter named Kaveh Solhikol, I believe is his name. X and handle is Skykava. I'm not entirely sure how to say that. However, he reports Chelsea have made a move to sign Ivan Toney from Brentford. They want a proven goal scorer to be the new number nine. He will fit into their wage structure, and transfer fee will be reasonable. Tony has an incredible offer from Saudi, but Chelsea can offer Premier League football. So this is definitely a credible source and is actually being live on Sky Sports reporting this very news. So initially, I was skeptical to even take this seriously, but it might be growing some legs. And what does that really mean? Having a guy like Ivan Tony. First of all, he's a bit older compared to the kind of profile that our board have been going after recently. So this is definitely a bit surprising in terms of going for a much an older striker, and but what he guarantees is goals. He's scored on every level that he's played on. He's one of those really another cocky, believes in himself kind of player that we might need because we have a lot of guys that are really good, but in front of goal they do tend to doubt themselves. Tony isn't going to. He also provides a different dimension in his heading ability, his ability to just change the point of attack in terms of just going more direct, holding the play ball up, and bringing others into the game. Much like much like we already have in Jackson, but he does it differently in his ability to just hold up play and link up play. Not necessarily running with the ball, but definitely a different kind of striker to what we already have. So just looking at the reaction online, just right now, I see a lot of Chelsea fans online with the big accounts saying they're very excited, bring him, and a lot of them are saying he's an upgrade on Nico Jackson. Me personally, I don't think that's definitive. I don't think he has the all around game that Jackson has, but I think he's a better finisher than Jackson is at this point in Jackson's career. I do think that Jackson's overall potential is much higher than Tony has ever had personally, and that's just what I think. But when you look at what Jackson has done so far and his ability to just go past players and do everything aside from put the ball in the back of the net. I think that, and also I just saw a stat today about Jackson. He has the same. Apparently, he has the same non-penalty goals as Mo Salah since last year, basically last season to this season. So he's actually a little underrated. I know he's we look back and we say he's missed a ton of chances. Just imagine if he even scored more of those, cut clear cut chances that he missed over the year. I mean, you can only imagine how good this guy is. So me, I'm not ready to jump off the Jackson's wagon. Uh, Whoa, that sounds crazy, but I'm not ready to get off that the the train yet because I think Jackson has insane potential, and he's not one of those guys that you can just I still think that even if Tony comes in, he'll be a backup to Jackson, which is kind of crazy because I'm sure they're gonna be paying some real money to get him. And although he already has all these opportunities to go to Saudi, I don't think he wants to leave England just yet. I mean, Brentford to London, like would be a very easy way to place to settle in for him. Doesn't have to move. So you know, I think this seems to be having some legs. I haven't seen anything from Fabrizio Romano regarding this, so still have to have some caution and be a little bit more, um, be a bit patient in seeing what's going to happen. I mean, we saw that Manchester United just signed a new striker, a new midfielder, Ugarte from PSG. So Chelsea couldn't just let them just have this morning, but before we just had to get linked to somebody new very quickly, and that's just what the Clear Lake era has been like. We just we just love to get involved. This is pretty cool, but I'm curious to see what happens with Tony. What do you what does everyone think about Tony? Do you think he's gonna be a starter? Is he gonna bench? Think he's gonna bench Nico, or is he gonna just be a backup? I'm curious to see what everyone thinks, but it's a bit surprising just looking at the age profile, and we've been accused of only acquiring a bunch of kids recently. So, but now we're looking at it and we're going for a guy that's close to 30. I mean, what's Ivan Tony's age right now? Actually, he's 28. Okay, turned 28 in March, so he doesn't turn 29 until next year. Still pretty old, man. I mean, he's up there. He's up there. But I wouldn't be opposed to having Tony join our ranks. I wonder what kind of contract they're going to give him. I don't think they're going to be giving him one of those jail sentences contracts that we've been giving over to the kids. Probably something closer to like 2 to 3 years, maybe. I'd be surprised if they give him anything more than that, because I don't think he'll have much of the kind of value that you'd get. That sell the you know I don't think you'll be able to get much money from him when you try to sell him eventually. Um, so that's definitely something that I will be keeping an eye on. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is just a little video I saw online about Cole Palmer winning the What Dior. Can't really find that right now, but What Dior? Yeah, my man. I saw stuff about him having the same kind of um nonchalant attitude towards anything but football. And then it does show in his play, the way he's so calm and so, you say he's cold, but it's really just that demeanor of just not being phased by anything. The video I'm referring to is a video that has he was being interviewed by various journalists trying to get some answer from him regarding any something that doesn't relate to football, and he's just like, what, what? And he said, "Don't know, don't know, don't know, don't know," a lot. Just not being oblivious to everything that doesn't relate to football. So it's very funny, but it goes to show that he has um, the same kind of characteristics that you see from a guy like Lionel Messi, where he's just does not necessarily he's not really paying attention to anything else if it's not related to what he does on the pitch. So I don't necessarily see it as a crazy. Uh, I don't see it as anything weird, but it's just definitely interesting to see. Uh, but you should go check out that video, Tony. Just look up Palma What Dior, WOT Dior, and you should be able to might be able to find something find this funny. And then finally, I just want to talk about just the general vibes that we're seeing it, on Chelsea Twitter recently, and just seeing the kind of, not just on Twitter but just on various platforms. The It just goes to show you that it doesn't take much for things to change when it comes to football. Just seeing how quickly people will react to a win versus a loss. And although you saw how things were going on Sunday when we were tied at halftime, it looked like we're in for another week of crazy rhetoric around Chelsea. A lot of unnecessary scrutiny from the from the media. They you could tell they're getting the pitchforks out, ready to lay into every single player and the coach, and I'm sure they were ready to just say he's going to be to start making proclamations about him leaving by the end of the year. Who's the next Chelsea coach to come on board? It's crazy stuff like that. I'm sure it's starting to swirl in their heads, but we were able to turn that around in the second half, and it's just so interesting to see people saying things like we're going to be a force to reckon with this year, and we're also going to be we should be competing. You don't hear stuff like, "Of course you spent $1 billion, so you should be doing what you did yesterday on Sunday." So, but overall, it seems like the fan base is getting behind Maresca and what he's trying to do. So that's definitely refreshing. We've seen seen a video that was circulating online about Pochettino, who was trying to explain his tactics with a journalist, and we saw the contrast in the way he was breaking it down versus Maresca, who seemed to just have a little bit more of a just the command of English, the English language that he has to communicate his points a bit clearer. Um, and honestly, it was night and day in terms of just the ability to make the point and be clear about it. We knew exactly what he was trying to do, and so I think that definitely bodes well because if we can understand what he's saying, I'm sure the players can understand him as well. So it's a win-win for all of us. It's not a dunk on Pochettino, which I've seen a lot of people try to make that make that as a dunk on Pochettino. To me, it's just shows how lucky we are to have a guy like Maresca who not only has ideas, but he knows how to communicate it to a reporter. If he can do that, he can do it to the players. Everybody eats. We're all eating good as Chelsea fans. So if you're feeling this optimism, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you comment. Just let me know what you think. And I will catch you